Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Evening Gaming, your last dose of joy before returning to the work week grind where we discuss life, gaming, and anything nerdy. With me is Mason, aka Soup Mai, and Daniel, aka Rock's Heart. And of course, I'm Ian, Sleepyeyed Gaming. Let's kick it off. Who wants to start?
Mason, you sound pretty excited about your subject. You go first,
Oh
unless you're
man,
too
the Tomorrow
focused.
Children. I'm so excited for the Tomorrow Children. I Okay, so all right,
Well,
for those
pause.
of you
Yeah, explain
what's
it
up?
to me because you explained to me a little while ago, but
I
I'm
don't worry,
lost
I
on
got
the
it.
Tomorrow Children
Okay.
subject.
So this is all right, hold on, I got this all packed. Let me get this out off my desk real quick. So all right, the Tomorrow Children came out in I want to say 2016. Halloween of 2016. I'm like 99% positive. I had this all up a second ago, but now I'm second guessing myself. Um Yeah, it shut down in 2017. So it came out in 2016 Halloween. It had a rocky launch. Okay, I don't want to like start off on a bad foot here. The Tomorrow Children was amazing.
Mhm.
Honestly, like one of the better games I've ever played. It had this sense of community, right? And the whole thing is centered around um, the lore of it is basically there's the Soviet experiment gone wrong, right? The idea was they were trying to like make everybody communist. I don't know. I don't remember it exactly. But it went wrong and it essentially wiped out existence, right? So there's a couple humans that survived on planet Earth and they in an effort to rebuild humanity started making these like digital clones. Pepper check. That's enough.
Right.
Started making these digital clones and so they put these clones in this place that's called like the void, and that's where they figured out that like, oh, the surviving human DNA is existing, it's still there, it's just in this place called the void. So we play as these digital clones and we get released into the void, and we have these like small little like rink-a-dink towns that are all missing all the pieces and parts, right? And so basically it's just you and like your pickaxe and anybody else who's there, and there's like a bus, right? And you get on this bus and it takes you to these like mountains and like weird islands, and there's a bunch of different types and they all have different resources and stuff, and it takes you out there, and as a group you work to mine and you bring the resources back to the town and you work together to build the town and get the different parts of the town. Can you guys hear that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. All right, so it's a sandbox to
So,
answer
but
your
like
questions.
first person, third person,
Third
fucking
person, it's
RTS type,
third
like
third person sandbox, right? So anyways,
as expected. It's okay if you just stay still. You can just do a hard cut.
all right, anyways, all right, I'm sorry about that, sorry about
Nah,
that.
no worries.
It's
We
like
came up. We came up
literally
with a plan.
kids are like, they'll be behaving perfectly, and then as soon as you start, it's just all hell breaks loose every time. I don't know
Oh
why.
yeah.
Anyways, all right, so it's third person sandbox. You're working together as a community. The whole idea is based around communism, essentially, right? So like
That's great.
nobody owns you. You don't have anything.
Hmm.
You have your person, and you can upgrade your tools and stuff, but you do that by working, right? So you work, and as you work and stuff, and you bring materials back, and you upgrade the town, there's like a buzzer that goes off, and then you get to go get paid. So then you go and you stand in line. You literally stand in line and to get paid. And the person in front of you gets paid and they leave. And then you go and you get paid and you leave, right? And then you can go to the vendors and you can pick up upgrades and stuff, right? And new equipment. Um, and that's essentially it. The idea is to build up the town, and you build the town by collecting human DNA from these islands. And after you get enough and the town gets to a certain level, that town is then blocked in and it's safe and it's complete. And then the community moves on to a new town and builds up a new city. And so there's a ton, the server list is huge, right? And so you basically, like, you could play a private server, but it's not like technically private. Other people can come in. But like, the three or four of your friends can all work on one of the towns that's got like empty, and work on that one to consistently go back to that one to build it up together. And you'll probably be fine. Nobody else will probably join you. But that's essentially the gist of the game, right? Now there's these monsters that roam around, and like every night these monsters show up. There's like big ones that show up, and the bigger your town gets, the bigger the monsters get. So you have to work together to fight and stuff.
So it's like, so how's combat like? Like, what do you use
Honestly, it's
for
a lot like
combat?
Fortnite.
Oh,
Oh,
If,
okay.
okay.
if I had to
All
if I
right.
had to compare it to a game,
Yeah, there we go.
combat,
Comparisons.
it's like Fortnite. It's third person. You have like a little shotgun. It's not, you know,
Mhm.
It's not high end. The
Yeah.
the game isn't about the combat. The
Yeah.
only combat you're going to get is again third person over the shoulder shooting at slow moving mobs that do
So
damage to
why'd it get
buildings.
canceled? Or I guess.
All right, so
So it was a live
honestly,
service, right? It
I
was
don't know
like
about it. Yes,
server
it was free to
like
play.
uh-huh.
I think honestly, the story that as I understand it goes, it wasn't making enough money.
Mhm.
Having a server with that many servers available was costing too much for how it wasn't monetized at all. You could
Well,
spend
that's
money on
Mm.
the
skins, but
first
that was it.
mistake.
There weren't a lot of skins.
Mhm.
So they really didn't have a lot of things for us to spend money on. And the game
Yeah.
was free to play.
Well, I mean,
So it got shut down
now they
because
have
of
the
that.
model of like all these other games where it's like
Yeah.
all
Battle
these
pass type stuff.
microtransactions where it's like it's
Mhm.
not going to make you win, but I'll pay
Yeah.
for that cosmetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think there's something to be said about how you can monetize a game with a free to play model and be generous about it, I guess, and not take the route of gouging its people for as much money as humanly possible. Because
Yeah.
I mean, quite honestly, you see games like, I mean, I play Apex a lot, and like they they were like they made one of the most money. I think it was the one battle royale for EA that made the most money for them. Like they made almost the $1 billion range. Yet they're still
Jesus.
charging like $20-$30 for a skin almost. It's like, and then obviously they post and say, oh well, we need to fund the game. Yeah, yeah, sure. But how much of that almost $1 billion is actually going to fix the infrastructure in the game and make that better instead of just giving
It's
it to an
EA. They're a
executive?
bunch of greedy bastards.
I mean, anybody that's in the gaming sphere knows what's going on with EA right now. I won't hit up on that shit until later probably, but
Hmm.
I mean, it's just I I can see Tomorrow Children being something where they could probably monetize it in a way like, like I said, the battle pass type. And with a game like that, like how much money do you really need to, like, obviously businesses need to grow. We understand that. But is there a limit to the amount of money you need to make on a game that's free to play to be like, I enjoy making this game. We enjoy making this game. We enjoy making a little money on top of that. But ultimately, it's building a game for a community that obviously has a passion for this type of game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um and this was before that time. They tried to make a free to play game that didn't
Yeah.
have any of that. They had people who liked the game, but they didn't have the stuff to fund it. Like you were saying,
Hmm.
Hmm.
right? Have that
Yeah.
balance. They were on the good end of that balance, I guess.
Well, the good
Not
end
the
that ended in its fucking demise, right? I mean, you said
Yeah,
that good
it
end.
sucks
There's
that
a
the
there's,
bad
there's a
end
happy balance.
it sucks that the bad end of that balance is
Mm.
abused so much in a lot of games, and the games are still successful. That's what makes me disappointed, is that there's no the whole checks of the whole way that an economy is supposed to check itself doesn't apply in some situations. If a game gets popular enough, they can do
Well,
whatever they want.
what I like to say is kind of like it's like the Call of Duty effect. You know how I'm sure when you were young, you were in high school, you'd have friends and jocks that never played fucking games in their entire life, but they play Call of Duty. They play Call of Duty. So, and then like the Maddens and the stuff like that, it's like they're not really gamers in the terms that we would back in the day have defined gamers, but they gave EA or Activision the money, like that for the
Hmm.
battlefields and things like that. Like they gave them the money. They don't pay attention to the news. They don't pay attention to predatory monetizations or anything like that. There's a lot of that still going on where Activision can do something or EA can do something really fucking bad and put out a game and it still makes an ass ton of money because the majority of the people that are buying these things don't pay attention or don't even know that this bad shit's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like I'm ear to the ground. I pay attention to all these news reports. I look at everything that EA and Activision do when they post a game or the goods, the bads, the uglies, all that shit. But I mean, somebody I work with that plays Battlefield or Call of Duty has no idea. They don't care. They're just playing a game. They gave
No,
them
they're just
$70
especially like Call of
playing
Duty. They're
Warzone.
Exactly.
playing their
Yeah.
annual game.
Playing
Yeah.
Warzone.
Exactly.
So
Their
So
that's the thing.
$60 game with their $20 skin.
But what's
Day
what's the
one.
incentive? What's the
okay.
incentive for them to be like, you know, oh, we'll make our game not predatory. I mean, people are still paying for it, but we won't do it. We'll be nice. Like, there's
Yeah.
no shareholders. Like,
Well,
this is
then,
it.
I mean, if you wanted to get in the weeds, you could look at the free to play models of, because So I've read a little bit into this, right? And it's not necessarily about the people who spend a little bit of money. Like we play Sea of Thieves, and it's like, oh, I really like the new Jack Sparrow ship set. Yeah, it's $25. Okay, whatever. And you buy it, right? But the people that they hunt are the people who like buy everything. Like especially that what's that mobile game called? The one that's like
Talking about
for
Genshin
all the
Impact.
for all the super weaves, right? Because that one's still got
Whoa,
like
whoa,
loot boxes and
whoa!
stuff,
Whoa,
Come
and
on,
easy.
like
brother. Come
I
on,
play
man.
Genshin Impact. That's rough.
Uncle Weebs, what is this about?
I tried it. I couldn't get into it. I tried,
It's
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 but
definitely
called
there's so
Waifu
many
Impact.
currencies,
it's
you know.
definitely a waifu game. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like all those currencies, and like they're looking for the people that dump the money in to try to be like the number one person, you know. But they're hunting the whales, the people who dump thousands of dollars into that a month,
Well,
you know.
that's Daniel. You're the one who told me that the way that it's like what 80-20.
Yeah, it's like a
80% of your
20%.
profit comes from 20% of your players.
Yep.
Exactly, and it divides down from that. So that top 20%, the 20% of that are paying more than the other 80 of that top 20%, if that makes sense. So it just
Yeah.
divides down more and more and more and more. It's always, I don't say always, but typically the 80-20 split is a good go ahead for understanding how you're monetizing a game like that. But I mean, like it goes like all those what are they call them gotcha games. The
Hmm.
buy characters, buy loot, all this stuff. It's the kind of the idea for pay to win. Creeps into that territory, if not full blown into that territory. Where
Oh yeah,
if any
like
game that you have that has PvP or anything like that, or any way to be on top of a bracket. If there's a way that I can shove as much money as humanly possible to get to that top spot, those are the people they're looking for.
Oh man, Pokemon Unite. Don't even get me started on that one. That
well,
whole
like
that
you
whole
know,
clusterfuck.
Mason, we got wrapped into that Conqueror's Blade for a while, and that one was definitely like a pay to win.
Oh man.
You
Yeah.
buy all like
Okay.
the
All
top tier
right.
soldiers and stuff. I mean, you could work for it, but it takes a lot of time.
My my caveat to all this pay to win conversation is at the end of the day, is the game fun to play?
Yeah,
If on the free to play level you're still having fun, does it really matter? But I mean, yes, it does. All right.
I mean, it
Yes, it
does
does. Because if
ultimately,
I
but
want to compete in a free to play game,
mhm.
right? If I want to be competitive and still play for free and the game says it's free to play, there shouldn't be an advantage for money. But on the flip side of that, like if I'm not trying to compete, then it's not really that big of a deal, but it's still irritating knowing that I'm being beat by people because they're willing to drop money.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and
I
yeah.
don't know.
I
Genshin,
mean,
I know for a fact is one of those ones that you need to spend the dough to get, because you get a character. That's the thing. I
Is there
do a pull.
PvP in Genshin?
There's no PvP, but there's like from what I remember, there's like an abyss tower that has like it's really really hard, and you basically get ranked by how far in the abyss tower you can get, and your score at your time and all that kind of stuff. I didn't dig too much into it. Like, I'm in a waifu collector. If I get the waifu, like who's gonna get who cares if it's fucking level 5? Like I don't care. I have it. But that's the thing. I play Genshin passively. I jump into the world. If there's like the last thing I did was when they dropped Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. They brought her into the game out of fucking
oh, that's pretty
nowhere.
sweet.
Good on them because they gave her away for free. So
Nice.
I didn't even have to pull for
Oh
that.
yeah,
But
I got that
I
whole
just
set too.
logged in, just got the character. Like I don't know. I have a couple of characters that I like, and I've been trying to get on because the constellations are kind of like how you level the character up to max level, and the constellation is basically getting that same character, like that character, like 5 or 6 times. I think it's six
Oh,
times.
that's such an annoying. I hate it when games do that,
Yeah.
especially because like the only way to get it is to pay a whole bunch of money.
Well,
All right, hold on.
if you
Let me take it back to Tomorrow Children real quick
yeah, go ahead.
because we're almost at the end of the story. We're
We'll
almost at
roll
the end of the
back.
story. We got distracted and I got distracted. Okay,
Mm,
so I pulled up the stream so you guys can see what it looks like when you're playing.
Mhm.
But really, okay. So what happened, right? So I told you what the game is about. It launched on Halloween. This is why it failed. It launched on Halloween. It lost a lot of players because their Halloween event was live, which means that there's like a bunch of big monsters that are spawning like all the time and nobody knew how to play the game. It literally launched like that day and people are just getting smashed. So a lot of people just stopped playing, right?
mhm.
And then a year later, they weren't making any money because their launch was kind of rusty and so they shut it down. The big news, the reason why I'm bringing it up is 2 weeks ago, the developers, Q Games, got the rights back from Sony. Sony had owned the game through one way or another, right? And it was legally locked into them. But the big news is that Q Games got it back, and they're going to re-release it. They haven't given any dates. I spent a lot of time digging through news and Twitter feeds and everything, and they got nothing. The only news that's anything concrete is they got it back and they said they're working on it and they're going to re-release it. That's it. So unfortunately, I have
Nice.
no news for you as far as when it comes out. But oh, I am so excited. This game,
Well,
like I've been following the Tomorrow Children subreddit for the
it's still
last,
alive.
was it 6 years? Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? That's why I think the developer put a lot of effort into getting it back, was because there is still a following. People are still talking about it. People are still sending them messages asking them, "Hey, are we ever getting this back?" People are still sharing clips and things. And so this clip that I'm sharing right here is my first like adventure into the game, right? It had just launched. I downloaded it, fired it up, and I decided to record the first couple hours
Oh,
because
that's
I knew
cool.
it was going to be a big thing. So I'll turn it off here in a second. But yeah, so this is it's just third person over the shoulder. You see that little spider thing in the background? That's one of the
Yeah,
monsters you
I'm
fight.
sharing those with the moms. What's with the white
That's the
barren
void.
area?
That's the void. If you walk
Oh,
out there, it's like a milky soup and you get sucked into it.
so you're building that. You're developing that. That's the goal, right?
Yeah, you're developing. See that little town in the background? You can't see it right now, but
I think I saw it
yeah, that stuff.
before.
That's it. That's what you
Mhm.
start with. There's literally a bus station, a fist that
Mhm.
says something like "We work together," and then like the spot where you buy upgrades.
Yeah.
So that's it. And then you load stuff onto this bus stop platform, and then the shit gets loaded onto the bus, and it takes it back to town. And I missed
And
the bus
there's
here.
and there's a bunch of people in the area other than you that
Yeah,
are
well,
doing
so
the
that's
same
the
thing.
thing, right? Let's see, stop streaming. So that's the thing, right? It's a server list, or at least it
Mhm.
was. Again, they might change things up. I don't know, but it was a server list. So there's like a list of just towns on towns on towns that you can join, and you can go to an empty one, and that's what I did, and that's what me and Bubba did. We picked one of the ones at the very bottom that had no players, and we just worked on that one ourselves
Hmm.
because we didn't, randoms. Fuck randoms.
Fuck
So.
randoms. Yeah. Know that.
Yep.
Random
So,
third.
but I did pop into a couple of the more populated ones back when it was live, and it was a lot of fun. There's some trolling, but it's more. I never experienced anything like super bad, or anything that made me want to stop or made me frustrated. It was just kind of like, people throwing stuff off the platform and then they put it back on the platform. That's about it.
Mhm.
Just messing around. So,
So
anyways,
so
that's my
like
big news.
well like so one thing I wish like one thing I'm noticing like the thing I'm later when we talk about Fortnite like their
Work
collabs
life.
are honestly what ended up bringing me to the game in the first place, other than buying it at launch. Like I paid for the $40 or $30 like starter pack before I even knew that it was going to be what it
Yeah,
was.
on launch. Yeah, so did I.
Well, it's because Clip Blazinski, Epic, they got off Gears of War. Their next game was Fortnite, and it was just going to be like a PVE like combat game against hordes of zombies and shit. You just build around that. Not a lot of people know that. I mean, anyone that's I'm pretty sure hardcore in and old enough to knows it. But like, this is like way back in the day. I don't know, not way back in the day, like 6 years ago or something. I remember the trailer came out like in 2012 or 13. I don't an E3 sometime. But like if Tomorrow Children were to get like some collabs going, like hit that free to play model, hit some collabs with other things, or like have cosmetics obviously that people want to use. I mean, I don't want to say it's not that hard to monetize a game, but like there are people out there that like myself who if it's a free game, I download it and I'm enjoying it whatsoever. I'm gonna drop at least $20 or more to get a skin, get something that makes me more immersed into the game to enjoy it. Like that's just my kind of philosophy nowadays for free to play. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a great philosophy because it can waste a lot of money sometimes, but
Well, if you enjoy it, what have I always said, Daniel?
when you
Right?
enjoy something,
I-
invest.
if I enjoy it, I'm gonna spend money on it. Like
Yeah.
that's where
Exactly,
I'm at with life.
and
Like
that
they
like
deserve it, right? They made something I
exactly.
like.
So, and
I'm getting
that's a perfect
playtime out of
segue into
something.
Fortnite.
Okay, we
Oh
can
my
get
god,
into
it
it.
is, isn't it?
So my
I know.
my biggest thing is
60 bucks already.
I was wrong about Fortnite for a really long time. I disdained that game. I hated that game. I was
God, I
like,
made
this
fun of it
guy
in
from
Discord.
Fortnite, like the 12-year-olds, like if you get a real BR, play some PUBG. Like, no, don't play Fortnite's for
The only thing
kids.
worse than Fortnite was
Fuck
COD.
building. Yeah, for real.
Call of Duty was the only thing worse than Fortnite for me.
Still
Yeah, I
fuck
feel you.
building, but Fortnite is not as bad as I thought it was. Like I knew it wasn't as bad. I just didn't. I wasn't prepared to like sink in and actually have a good time. So
Yeah.
like I said, I got the game when it first came out. I played a couple rounds. I played the original Fortnite like
The PVE.
story mode, and
I
I was
really
like, this.
enjoy it. To be fair, I enjoy the PVE.
I didn't
I wish
dive
I
too
had people to
deep.
play with me.
I didn't dive too deep.
It's
I
pretty.
mean,
It gets redundant pretty quickly
yeah,
on, but it's. I don't know. It's fun. Some of the skins you can get and stuff are kind of cool.
yeah,
Again, it's that whole kind of like you play just to get more things
yeah.
kind of model.
But
Anyways,
like what
sorry.
what brought me to Fortnite originally was the came out of the Chun-Li skin. I was like, wow, they're actually getting some pretty cool collabs. And me being a sick person, I was like, I need that Chun-Li skin. I just need. I don't play Fortnite. I'm probably never gonna play Fortnite. But if I did, I'm running around in that Chun-Li skin. You best believe. So logged in, dropped $20. Now that's $50 in the game,
I remember
and
making fun of you.
unlock. Yeah, I know.
Fun of you for that
Unlock
too.
the Chun-Li skin. That's it. I played 2 or 3 games, destroyed them. I won 3 games in a row on solos. Felt like king of the world, and I was like,
See, no,
all right,
they've got to have some kind of algorithm in there because I mean,
yeah,
so I only started playing like 2 weeks ago,
hmm
and I found out y'all were playing it, and I was like, Psh, I lost him. That's it. Never gonna see him again. But like
Nah.
when we hooked up and
ain't
we
that
did them
You started.
trios, we did them trios, and I think it was like 2 or 3 hours, and like I think we won 4 out of the 5 games we played.
Yeah.
mm.
Like there's got to be an algorithm, you know.
There. I mean,
It's
I'm
like, oh,
sure there's
let's dump
bots.
this
I'm sure
guy
there's,
off with some easy people.
but like that's the grip. You know, it's like you get. So one thing I noticed about it, and I really paid attention to, is that Fortnite is straight up taking over. Like it's like the whole meta idea of just having, what, Ready Player One status going on. It's like
Hmm.
Fortnite is becoming that idealism of
Yeah.
everything in one thing. Everyone has fun with this one thing. And luckily the core gameplay is actually a lot of fun. Like I could go without the building, but I'm getting a little better at it. I typically don't do the build, which
Yeah.
gets me killed a lot of the time since we've been playing a good bit, but
Oh my god, it's so funny listening to you complain every time. Oh, those building
oh,
motherfuckers.
these builders, he's building mother. That's what I say when I'm shooting him, and he puts up on my. It's a building motherfucker. Watch out, he builds. But
Which is like crazy because like the more we play it, they're just gonna get. We're gonna see that more
harder.
often. It's gonna be to the point where like we're the people think are bots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you sent that video of the guy building the double walls and all that crap. I'm like, the only thing I remembered from that video now is that it takes 5 shots to kill a wood wall. That's all I remember. That's all I
Well,
need. That's all I needed from that video is 5 shots to kill one wood wall. That's it.
I
That's all I used.
there's a lot of I like the structural design and stuff I thought was
Yeah, but you're on a mouse, and that's.
no, I'm on the controller.
Are you? Because what he was doing was on the mouse, and I'm like, there's no way in fucking hell I'm gonna be able to build a double
It's
wall with
gonna
the
be slower.
floor and a roof and all that shit. But
I just got to get
I'm
some
having a
reps
good
in.
time. And like other than that, like me being me, I kind of need to have something to link me to like the game. Like I have like the game like for Deep Rock Galactic is a perfect example. Is the gameplay is fun. I like the game. I do not like the aesthetic. I do not like
It's a
the
little too voxel for you.
it's there's not enough waifus. There's not enough,
Oh my god, that's it.
there's not enough.
Not,
Yeah,
you can't
there's
have
no
a fat ass.
emote. I can't have a fat ass, but
I don't know,
but
man. Those
Deep
I
Rock
mean,
sports
you
Galactic
can.
thick
You
thighs.
definitely can.
bodies. But anyway, yeah. So I'm a sicko, but I like, I play Fortnite. I can get dance emotes. They got official ones. They got a Drake emote in today. I saw the Xenomorph from Alien the other day. They got Ghostbusters. They just dropped that Naruto pack. Like
They got
literally
Yeah.
Star Wars.
word
They got
vomit.
Master Chief.
Yeah,
Everything.
word
Like
vomit
even
of
like
just
Dune, the Justice
gaming
League.
media.
Oh man, if they do a
It's
Dune one,
stupid.
They did the
God,
Dune
I don't.
one. They did the
They
Dune one like a
I
month
know,
or
they
and
two
I
did the
missed
ago.
it,
Dune one.
and I missed
Yeah.
it.
It's
Yeah.
okay. It'll rotate. It always
Yeah.
rotates every day at like 4 my time. I've been paying attention. I can't
I
come
know
in.
they,
I
they
have
got
time.
they got that axolotl
Oh, Axolotl? Yeah. I
axolotl
think I want
skin.
that. I don't know.
No
Yeah,
way.
I'll
So
be
is that
one
an
to admit.
unofficial Minecraft?
What?
The axolotl is that animal that they just added to Minecraft, and everyone's going crazy over it. It's a
Yeah,
little.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah.
they're super cute, dude.
Yeah, I
Have you
love
seen one
axolotls.
like in
They're
real
great.
life? They're like a
Yeah,
salamander
Axolotl.
with like flaily
It's
ears.
it's actually a
it's like
mud
a
kip.
dinosaur from. It's a
It's a
mudkip.
mudkip.
It is. It
Yeah,
is a mud
that's
kip.
what mudkip is. It's an axolotl. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure mudkip's an axolotl.
I think so. I think it's based off one.
Anyway, the best thing that I think that Fortnite got going for right now is their monetization scheme. Fucking genius.
Yeah.
Just
No, I mean
fucking
we've
straight
talked
genius.
about it where it's like every day
sure.
they refresh it and it's like they've got the hook.
There's
It's like
always
I'm not
something
going to
new
see
that
this
you
skin
want to look in
again.
there. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
that
going to see the skin again for
this is
months.
coming from a couple of people that started Fortnite like years after it just had to inject media, just every swinging under the sun media application that they have, TV show. They got Rick and Morty, like
Oh my God,
Dune,
I forgot
all
about
that.
Rick and
Like
Morty.
exactly. But you, I got to the point where I'm scrolling down Facebook and you see they're getting Rick and Morty, and I'm like, what is this? What are you doing over there? So I showed up and I was like, okay, this is what they're doing, and I'm like it. I like it. Talk shit about Fortnite all this time, and I find myself enjoying it. I think I played Apex for about played Apex on launch, took a break until season 3, and then I've been playing Apex ever since then. And
Hold on, here's
me
the
and
thing. You can still talk shit about Fortnite.
no, of course I will, I
Yeah.
absolutely will, but I will still
Because like
play
at
it.
the end of the day, it takes a lot more energy to play something like Apex or
So
even
that's the
COD.
thing,
I'll even
but
say that
that's what
about COD.
makes it so much more approachable. I have to mentally prepare to play Apex. I have to actually have a little pep talk and be like, "Yo, man, don't get heated. If you drop with no gun in a P2020, that's just how the cookie crumbles." Like, you have to have those talks when you're playing Apex, especially ranked. It's stupid. I mean, of course, a lot of people they drop and they don't give a shit. But like for me, playing as long as I have, I'm like, I'm gonna get somewhere if I drop in this game. Fortnite gives me that I can drop, play a BR. It's wacky, it's kooky. You have a fun time. You get whatever fucking skin you want. I'm waiting for Master Chief to roll through again. I'm grabbing that shit real quick. But I'm waiting for that, and I'm enjoying my time. And I enjoy Apex. I love Apex. I'll never give it up. But when I want to play a BR, have a good time with some friends, I probably won't play it a whole lot solo. But I'm having fun with Fortnite, and I honestly would implore people that have not given it a shake to give it a try. If you're a BR fan, if you like playing battle royales, you like PUBGs, it's over the shoulder third person. You really don't have to pay attention to building until you're like in the higher ranks. Like you can get away with it. I am so far.
Daniel, you
I
say
could
like
build like
until you get in
one
the higher
wall.
ranks.
Well,
For all
well,
we
not
know,
I
we
guess
could go
not
like
rankings, but
pros.
I will say this. I just did a quick little Google search. Guess how many skins there are in Fortnite?
don't. Nope, not doing
Hold
it.
on, let
It's
me
in
let
the
me let me think about it.
thousands. It's in the
I'm
thousands.
gonna guess at least over 10,000.
It's only 1,080.
Ah, 1,000, let's go. Anyway, but still, but that's the thing. That's
I
the
kind of
thing
figured
that
it'd
they
be a
got
lot higher
going.
than
Not only
10,000.
do they have collabs, they have all these collabs all the time. Most of the skins I've been seeing rotate through are original skin ideas. Like the newest one is that at the time of this recording, the newest one is the what's it called? The
The
Avengers
human
one.
build. Here's why my guess
The
was so
human
high.
build. The
That
Avengers
one is
one.
like 4,000. So I was thinking like how many different skins and recolors and stuff
Mhm.
when you asked how many skins there. So that's why
Yeah.
my guess was really high.
So on top of that, the monetization. Back to what I was saying, the monetization of the game is really, really smart. They gave that Bill one has like 100, like what 5, 10, a bunch of different
4,000
variants.
combinations.
Yeah, and you get value out of that. There's no reason not to get it because it's just compared to Apex, you pay $20, you get a skin.
Yeah.
That's it.
No.
That's all you
For
get.
$20.
For $20. For $20 in Fortnite, that goes so far.
I just
So
remember
far.
back in the day playing Halo 3 online and there wasn't I don't think at the time there was any buying skins, it was all earning it. So I think at the very end you had like the samurai skin and it was like that's
The
how you
Hayabusa
know.
skin from
That's
Ninja
how you
Gaiden.
know. Yeah.
You
Ninja
know,
Gaiden.
hold on. I want to take a step down memory lane here. I miss that.
Let's
Okay.
go.
I miss
Oh,
that.
don't get me started.
I miss having the skin. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? No money. No like right like when I see a skin that you can only for example in Final Fantasy 14. I love Final Fantasy 14. Daniel, I know you got some news you want to talk about.
There's
I
no
know.
news. There's no news.
You want to give a little shout out that the
Yep.
update's coming out. I don't know. Anyways, right? When I see those skins that are like, the mounts and stuff that you can only get on the store, I'm like, wow, that's really cool, but like I could buy it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? When I see the ones that you like the rainbow pony, right? Back before like Heaven's Word, right? before all the other updates had come out. Like that was like, wow,
The
that person
night
put in some
the nightmare?
time. That's what I mean,
Yeah.
the Nightmare Pony, right? Like, man, somebody put in some time to get that.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I miss those days. I
Yeah.
miss the
Well,
days on the PlayStation 2, right? With Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, when like there was some character unlocks you could only get after you've beaten the game like 2 or 3 times with certain
mhm.
difficulties. As cool as it is being able to do all the stuff that we got now, like I do miss like what you're talking about, Ian, right? Like that skin at the end, right? That you
Yeah.
could only get by being good.
My
By the way,
the,
does anybody know what the name of that achievement was? How to get that? What you had to do, or what I think
Which one?
what it was called? The Hayabusa skin.
I don't remember.
So the title of it is "I would have been your daddy, but the dog beat me over the fence." I'm not even shitting you. If you look up that phrase, that skin pops up. I would have
Nice.
been your daddy, but the dog beat me over the fence.
Jesus, that's such an
I don't know how many
insult.
people
I
know
fucking
that.
love it.
I don't know
I
how many people
just,
know that, but
but like,
any Halo
so
3 vets know.
how you were talking about like proof of work, right? Just like the blockchain, right? So proof of work. I remember the first time I seen it was with the original Metal Gear Solid. I think it was the first time you beat the game. You got the Infinity Bandana, which was like ridiculously long. You got infinite ammo through the game, but then I think it was you had to beat the game again with just using tranquilizers or something, and then you got like the James Bond like suit that you can
Oh
wear
wow.
throughout the game.
See, yeah, like what happened to
Classic.
that?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I
so
guess what happened to that was bigger game,
Monetization.
more time, more money.
Because even like the
this
single player games, like Assassin's Creed, I'm sure, like and like Watch Dogs and stuff,
That's
like
what
you
I don't
play the
get.
game, but you get the fancy new skin that comes out. You still have to pay for it.
That's what I really don't understand. Like nobody else gets to see that,
Yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. So one thing that really bones me,
especially
other
first-person games that do that.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead, Daniel.
no, well,
Man,
other
that
than
just
just
bugs me.
my enjoyment of like looking at something like, man, how do I unlock that skin? And it's a fucking $20 buy. It's like, I mean, yeah, it takes kind of the enjoyment out of it, but like, other than me, our kids, my kids, your kids are never going to get to experience unless they go back and play, experience that skin that nobody knows about, this unlock that nobody knows about, that somebody just did something
Exactly.
crazy to unlock, and it's like, yo, how do I get that? You can Google it. Oh yeah, that's how you do it, but good fucking luck. It's really hard, and it's like you
Yeah.
saw somebody with that skin, you know they're good, you know they're hot shit, you know they did
Yeah.
something.
Well,
You
Like
guys
we're
ever?
before like with Sea of Thieves, before the battle pass and like all that started out, they did kind of
mhm.
had that have that where it was once you
See,
became
that's what
pirate
brought me in.
legend.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when you become pirate legend, you get the legendary pirate outfit, and then on top of that, you can go down into the tavern, and there's the pirate legend whatever hangout spot,
Yep,
and that's where you get
that's
like
what I'm looking
all the
for.
ghost armor and everything. And like we're working on that right now, the Dark
you're
Adventurer set,
still
and that's
grinding that
that's
out.
like a
Jesus.
staple, you know. That's
Between the
like
three of
we've
us,
spent time. Yeah.
between the three of us
So
working on it, that's such a
Hmm.
grind to get it for one person.
not trying to cut y'all down, but that segues into my next point. My next
Go
talking
for it.
point
Send it.
is Microsoft and Xbox killing the game with their ideas and what they've been doing with their first party games and the not the battle pass, the
Game
Xbox
Pass.
Game
Game
Pass and all
Pass.
that kind of stuff. It's like I don't a lot of people I don't really think are like giving it enough value because just alone with the Game Pass itself, you know, I got away from Xbox about I was a 360 junkie. That's all I had was a 360. I mean, I had
Hmm.
games before that, but I didn't have a PS3 until later, and I didn't really play it that much. I have an achievement score. I have all that kind of. I was an Xbox person up until Xbox One came out. Downfall there. Got the Xbox One.
When I
Interface was
met you, Daniel,
trash.
you were a PS4 person because you brought your PS4 to work every
Yeah,
time, and you were
this was
playing Final
after
Fantasy.
your wait. Took me away because the Xbox One was just not great. It
Oh,
was
that's right. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the one that
yeah.
came out with the PlayStation 5, the new
No, no,
one.
no. The original. I was launch day Xbox One. I went to Walmart. I had the controller with the day one edition on it. I was that guy. I was like Xbox, let's fucking go. Well, so on before I ended up buying a PS4, got Final Fantasy 14, and then future. What really killed the Xbox for me
So and be
was
fourth. What does that mean?
well, just I'm a PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 5 right here. I may got the
No,
Xbox
that's
down
saying I've
below, but
never heard that before.
so on be forth. Yeah, well, I
Is
came
that a
up with
thing?
it. Coined.
I
Let's
think that's a
fucking
thing.
go. It's not a
That's like
thing, but it's
that's
my
like
thing.
odd Ben
It's a
Hur
thing
over
now.
here. Or the
I've been around.
That's not a thing.
Anyway, so I was super excited for Halo 5. I was like, yo, Halo 5's coming out. I'm gonna get me the themed Xbox. That shit's 500 bones. Let's go. Sold that Xbox One Day One edition. Bought
Have
the
you
Halo
ever
5
learned your
edition
lesson,
Xbox.
Daniel?
No,
Have you ever learned
no.
your lesson? I hear
See
you
this
talking
shit
about
back
this kind
there?
of shit all the time. Like,
I'm
oh, I'm gonna get the
because
super edition.
I've told this. Okay, I have learned my lesson. I haven't gotten a themed console since that time. Actually, I think I got the Legend of Zelda Wii U, the Wind Waker Wii U, but that's besides the point. That was
See,
a Wii U.
You don't
That
even
was my
play
first one.
Nintendo games.
Yeah,
I don't want
yes,
to cut
I
you off
do.
or anything,
No, you don't.
but so the Xbox 360 is the last console from Microsoft that I had. I think we had an Xbox One for a little while. I forgot why we got
Mhm.
it, but I think you know what, we bought it because our Blu-ray player broke and we wanted a new Blu-ray player. Um, and it was a console, so why not, right?
Yeah,
But we
can't
also
go
got it
wrong,
because
man.
I had the Game Pass, right?
Mhm.
But I've been desperately searching, and I really want to find a good condition uh, Star Wars Edition Xbox 360. You know, the one where it's
I have the
R2D2 and then it's the
Oh
C3PO
yeah.
controller.
Yep. Mhm.
Because like the
I have
360,
a
that was,
Master Chief
I feel it
360.
like probably our generation, the 360 era was like the golden age of gaming because that was like everything
Wasn't it
started
though?
going online, you know, and that was before all the microtransactions and loot boxes came around and
Horse
But
everything.
it was
armor.
before all the
When
Oblivion
GameStop,
horse armor.
yep,
Blame
that's
that.
where it messed
That's
up.
how it
Yep.
started. That's where it started.
But that's when you could still go to GameStop and you like get 4 games for $20 or whatever, you
Mhm.
know.
Yep.
That's when I worked at
yeah,
GameStop. It was
yeah.
great.
My
Same. I
digital
worked
library didn't
up
really
to.
start until the
It was
PlayStation
great.
4.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yep.
PlayStation 3. I still bust that out every now and then for the kids. Actually, I have one turned on, like plugged in upstairs on one of the kids' TVs, and I have like it's crazy looking at the PlayStation 3 collection compared to like my PlayStation 4 collection is like 5 times as big, but it's all
Yeah.
digital.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
Yep.
switched over
The three
in the
was
place.
the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360 was the last like I don't know of the old age, I guess, right?
So that's another
Games
Yeah.
point.
being
So
standalone, right? Like game comes out and that's it. That's the game. This is the
yeah.
game you get. You get all the stuff that comes with it, the
Hmm.
challenges, the unlocks, all that. That generation, I think Ian, you nailed it. Is the
Yeah.
last. After that, we moved into the age of the internet.
Well,
Yeah.
that's my other point with like Xbox and how what they're doing right now because they are doing something that the other Nintendo, and Sony aren't doing at all, which is pretty much game preservation, just about, and making sure it's accessible to people. I don't know if you like with the Game Pass, or not even with the Game Pass. I had when I did have my 360, I did get a lot of games on digital download, especially the ones that I bought Gears of War 2 like 3 or 5 times from GameStop before I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna download it so I can't sell it ever again. I was a junkie. I'd buy a game. Okay, I gotta get this new one, sell all my shit, and then get a new one, sell all these shits. So I bought Gears of
Oh
War like
yeah.
4 or 5 times, and I was like,
See,
nope, no more.
hold
Mhm.
on. I tried selling games like once, and I got like 350
Oh
from
no,
like
Yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty trash.
15
it
games, and
kept
I was like,
chopping
fuck
down.
that. I never did it again. I was like, you know what?
Dude,
I'm just gonna keep
Yeah.
my collection.
when I was really young, I messed up. Like it was back when EB Games was still separate from GameStop. Like super
I
young.
remember that.
I think the
Remember that.
PS1 had been around for
Bullshit.
like 2 or 3 years.
And we're aging ourselves.
I I traded in my Super Nintendo and all of my Super Nintendo games just to get one terrible
Ah,
WCW versus NWO game on
Oh
PS1. My whole
no.
collection. I was like 9. I didn't care. It
Oh
was like I need the
no.
new thing. Look, there's like 3D
Oh
graphics. It's so
no.
cool.
Oh
which
I'm an
game
no.
was this that
idiot.
you traded in for?
My Super Nintendo and all my games for like it was like NWO versus the World or something like that. A terrible wrestling game. I didn't even watch wrestling.
Oh
Why
my
did you want?
god.
Oh my. Okay,
Yep.
hold on. Let me tell you guys a story. So I have a
Okay.
similar thing. All right, about it was sixth grade. I remember this because the house I lived in at the time. Sixth grade. The Yu-Gi-Oh was getting really big, and I had an extensive Pokemon collection, right? And I was all about like I
You
remember
and
sitting on
everybody
the
else.
school
It's
bus, right? Yeah,
2001.
exactly, right,
Yep.
exactly. God damn it, 20 years ago. Fuck me. All right.
Yep.
Anyways, um, Right, I had extensive Pokemon collection. I remember trying to find all the shinies. I didn't even honestly, I didn't. I still don't know how to play the card game, like the actual game. Couldn't
Yeah,
figure
I'm
Nobody
it out.
does.
blurry on it.
Nobody does.
Anyways, Yu-Gi-Oh was coming out, so I was getting all into Yu-Gi-Oh. I remember like spending my lunch money on Yu-Gi-Oh. I sat down one time in my front yard. I remember with my two best friends, and I pulled all of my Pokemon cards out of their sleeves, and I went one for you, one for you, one for you, one for you, and I had like 4 binders of like I've been trading and like upgrading for years. I had like 2 or 3 binders, maybe even 4, full of just all my favorites. And I got them
Brother.
all. I was
No,
like,
I
what am I
feel you.
gonna do with them? They're never
No,
used.
I,
They're
Brother.
just cards. My parents always played down their value. And like, it's just a stupid game. So like, I had no concept of value.
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, no, I feel you. Like I had my mom was dating this dude who had a kid who was like 3 years younger than us or whatever. And when they broke up, I didn't care. Like we were emptying out the house, and I just straight handed him my binders of all my Pokemon cards.
Oh
Just
my
handed them
god,
to him.
doesn't it hurt so bad
It hurts
when
to
you
think
think
Yo.
about
about
now.
it?
Just like how I used to own 20 Bitcoin. Like I bought it as a joke back like 7 years ago.
Oh
I
my
don't know where it
god,
is
Why would you say
20
that out
full.
loud?
because
Why
it's
would you let
gone.
people know that? Oh
I've
my god.
hunted relentlessly for it. It's gone. Some
Oh my
hacker probably took it
god.
long time ago. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yo,
That
what?
I wouldn't be on
that's
the Coast
rough.
Guard anymore. I'll tell you that much.
I
For
tell you that
real?
much.
For
Have you
real?
seen some of this? Like, God, the price for oh my God, that
Yeah.
All
that's a
right.
whole nother podcast. Is
So anyway,
Hmm.
so I haven't even gotten to the conceit of my conversation
Yes.
because
Go
I'm
on.
sidetracked. But look, so Xbox, the back catalog they have is fucking available to you. I have
Hmm.
all these games from the 360 era that I downloaded on my account that I can currently fucking play right now on my Xbox Series X.
Hmm.
By the way, I'm not sponsored by Microsoft whatsoever, but I do have I do enjoy their shit a lot right now. Like
Yeah.
if I wasn't so attached, if I hadn't played a million hours on Apex on my PlayStation right now and have 300 fucking games on my PlayStation, I would probably just full sale Xbox right now because they're giving me way more value, way more value. Like I
that's
bought
Yeah.
fair.
day one, I wanted a game to play. I got the Series X off a whim. My buddy ended up getting an extra one, and I did not have a PS5 at the time. So he was like, "Yo, you want this?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take it. Just $500, boom, let's go.
Yeah.
I want the new consoles. I may never get a PS5, so
I
I got
still don't
that.
have one. I'm gonna put that in. At
So
time of recording,
I'm sorry.
years can change
I'm so
later.
sorry. I tried.
I
But
tried.
so I got that, didn't have any games for it. I wanted something new and juicy. I was like, I need the graphics. I need the next gen. So I got the Yakuza game, the new Yakuza game, which I hadn't played a whole bunch of them, but I like the combat style, the RPG. Why am I forgetting what it's called? But the active time battle type stuff. Um,
Mm.
but it's got that in it. And I was like, cool, play that. Graphics look great. Yakuza is a great fucking game, by the way. I haven't finished it, but totally recommend it to anyone that cares about the like kind of like JRPG like style and like that stuff. It's really really good. I could go on
Active
about it.
time event. That's what you're looking
Active
for.
time battle. No, I'm not looking for that. I know what I'm looking for in my head. Because all this Final Fantasy stuff in the background, I'm
Remember,
really
like
embarrassed
turn
that I
based,
can't.
like
Yeah,
Final
turn
Fantasy
based.
9.
Yeah, turn based. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. See,
Jesus.
it is a turn based Yakuza game, which is great. I love it, but it's like it's got a little bit more into it. Anyway, not the point. The point is, bought that shit, played it underway, had a good time, didn't finish it, put it to bed, came home, played Apex, Final Fantasy, did the things I normally do, and then a couple months later, boom, it's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I bought
So
the game for
Well,
70
that's
bucks, and
yeah.
it's on Game Pass now. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
fuck me. I've had Game Pass for a while now, since
well, that's kind of
what,
what it's
4 or
becoming,
5
isn't it?
months. What?
That's kind of what it's becoming. Like think about like the big one that comes to mind over and over is Destiny, right? That's my biggest big launch hype train that like is kind of like definitive of my gaming experience. But that whole idea of right, like people getting so pissed off that like, oh, now this game is free to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's no, like that's there was a time when you paid for a game.
Yeah.
Now we're paying to play it as soon as possible.
Consistently,
That's what
Yeah.
it is, right? That's
or
why
as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
pre-ordering is still a thing. In the digital
Hmm.
era, pre-ordering
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. But now you're not paying to get the game before anybody else. You're paying
Mm,
to play it as soon as it comes out, and then later
yeah.
on it's going to be free. So
Hmm.
like
So
PlayStation Plus is not as cool as
yeah,
Game Pass.
No.
It's
Well,
really
that's the
not.
thing. That's what's keeping me in it right now is the fact that I play Sea of Thieves through Game Pass. I do not own Sea of Thieves, and I played it with you guys for months now.
Yeah, I
And
definitely
I'm
bought it, and now it's on Game Pass.
exactly. Well, that every first party game, I'm pretty sure every first party game that comes out for Sony or Microsoft is going to be on Game Pass full sale immediately.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
think I think you have to pay for Halo Infinite's campaign. I'm not 100% positive on that, but
yeah. I
Forza
think you
Forza
do, but the
5,
multiplayer is free. Yeah, so
Forza
with
5.
Game Pass, they're doing with Game Pass, they release it to purchase a week ahead of time, and then it comes
Mhm.
out on the Game Pass. But yeah, they're
Which is
knocking it
fine.
out of the park with that, right?
Yeah.
Because
But like,
like not only that, but I don't even have an Xbox. My PlayStation collects dust, and we use it to play Minecraft with my daughter,
oh,
right?
that's sad.
But we have Game Pass on PC,
You can play
and
Fortnite on your PlayStation.
I did download it on my PlayStation. And my phone and my tablet. But besides that, yeah, I mean, I only really use my PC for gaming, and it's got the Game Pass on it. And not only that, but so they've got like the different tiers of the Game Pass now.
Yeah.
They also just introduced extra perks that you can get. So now, if you have the Pass Ultimate, you get 3 months free of the YouTube Premium. So like the no ads with the TV and all that stuff. And there's like two other things. I think like one of them was like free DoorDash Premium or whatever they call it.
No,
Like you get
I
all
think that
these
popped up on my
bonuses.
thing.
It's
I don't even pay
ridiculous.
attention to that. I don't even
Hold
care.
on, what is this called? I'm just gonna
What is this
real
called?
quick.
The
Well,
Game
that's the
Pass,
thing.
dude.
If you have an Xbox and you don't have Game Pass, you are wasting your time and money more than
Oh yeah,
likely. Because there are things that I mean, I don't know. If you like games, you have an Xbox, I fully recommend it. Like
for sure.
absolutely. I
You
other
definitely
than
need it.
that, Sony
Especially
or
like
Microsoft.
if you're a kid and you don't have a steady paycheck where you can't just buy games all the time,
Yeah.
have your parents pay the $10 a month or whatever for Game Pass and just
Mhm.
play everything. Why
And
not?
things cycle
Here's
through,
my
like things that aren't first party, they cycle through. Like all there's a couple Final Fantasy games on there that were available, and now they're not. But like they come in, and they'll probably be back eventually. But like you have a rolling catalog of shit that you can just hop in and play. So
Yeah,
if you like on a budget, you get the Xbox, even the Series S, you get the cheaper Xbox. You have a catalog that's available to you, and that is genius on their part because no
yep.
one else is doing that right now. At least not the way they are. Other than that, other bit, I was at work, had a free moment, and I was like, I'm gonna try this xCloud thing. I don't know if y'all are familiar with xCloud.
I've heard of it.
So it is basically cloud streaming games from Game Pass onto whatever device that allows the xCloud. So I had my phone, I had the Razer Kishi little joystick thing for your phone, and I was fucking playing Halo in a truck waiting for a contractor to show up. I'm like, I played a bot lobby. I was not about to play real people because there is some latency, but
Yeah,
I played Forza in the car, I played Halo in the car. It looks just as good. It's not no graphical, issues or anything like that.
all right, hold on. Let me put my plug in
All right, go.
background noise. But all right, so as cool as the Game Pass is, right? As somebody who's exclusively invested in PlayStation, it's not as profitable as you're making it sound, right? So you gotta remember, I got
No,
PlayStation Plus, right? So that's $10 a month. I pay $60 for the year, so I gain some there, right? Now let's counter that with, say, you play an online game that requires a monthly sub. Final Fantasy 14, for example. I don't know, maybe Warcraft if that's your vibe. There's a
nobody's
million of them
vibe.
out there, right?
Nobody's
So
vibe.
that's $20, right? And then you got Netflix, right? You got Hulu, you got all this other shit, right? For kids, especially if you have kids and things, right? And then you got Nintendo. Nintendo has its own online service. So if you want to play online games with friends on Nintendo, you got to pay for that too. I don't own an Xbox. As much as I would love to sub to a monthly thing for Xbox to get free games, honestly, that's not worth it for me, right? And now I got Discord has had a monthly thing now that I can pay for too. As cool as it'd be to get YouTube, like there's just as cool as the Xbox Game Pass is, guys. I'm telling you, like with all the other stuff out there that you're paying for monthly, we're up to like probably honestly pushing 150 bucks a month just on subs.
You're
probably,
not wrong,
probably.
but
Yeah,
you have to fully admit that the value you get
No,
from
it
Game Pass
is.
is
It is.
more than all of those subs that you're paying for right
The
now.
problem is I
yeah.
use the other ones more.
That's the key point.
right? Like,
That's
oh
the
yeah,
key.
I would love to play Forza with you guys, but like, I
Mhm.
wouldn't play Forza enough to justify even the cost of the Game Pass.
Mhm.
Honestly, if we're gonna play a racing game, I'm just gonna put my plug in there for Hot Wheels Unleashed.
No. It's no, Forza
It's such a
all
casual.
day.
Hot Wheels Unleashed
All
is the
day.
Fortnite
Forza
version.
is
Is
it,
the
boy.
Fortnite to racing game.
Did you know so Forza, I'm pretty sure from what I remember, is the highest rated game on Metacritic right now. And it is not up for Game of the Year. It's not even nominated. Not even nominated.
It's conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy. Well, apparently racing games don't get that bid.
Mm.
Yeah, Deathloop is on there, and I didn't see any waves made for Deathloop. I mean, I'm sure it's probably great, but
Well,
I,
let's think about
I
that for a second, right?
I'm
So
going to
it's
say
the
one
same.
thing. Look at a trailer for MotoGP. It's the most insane graphical thing you've ever seen. All
I'll
right,
pull it up.
just
heard of it. I
on
think.
your own time. Well, I mean, it's a racing that's been around for a while, and it's
Yeah.
the street bike racing and everything. But like
Oh yeah,
the
MotoGP. I remember now.
yeah, so the trailer I watched, it's in first person, and they got it perfect. Like the graphics are amazing, but the way that the bike and the camera moves,
Is
like
it a
it's
motorcycle game?
real. Yeah, it's a
Yeah, it's
motorcycle
sport
game,
racing.
but it's
For,
like you're going knee down, leaning into the
This
turns
is
and
a
stuff in
game?
first person. Yeah, it's insane, dude.
Oh
Insane.
no, that is. What am I watching? Is MotoGP like an actual motorcycle
Yes,
race game? This
MotoGP
looks like real
is
life. Okay, so this is. I gotta type in game app.
yeah. You
Yeah,
gotta
you
type
gotta
it
type in
in.
the game.
But
It's
That's
crazy.
more like
But
it.
going
Okay,
back,
that's a little less real.
so with Microsoft, I keep saying Sony because I'm a Sony fanboy, but like I'm
I
coming
have the
back.
20-year anniversary PlayStation 4 controller, but the battery
What?
doesn't last more than a couple hours anymore. Yeah, it's pretty
Oh
sad.
man,
I shouldn't have ever opened it, but you know.
that's one thing I don't understand about Xbox is when are they gonna do the rechargeable controllers? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm cool with like swapping batteries into the thing. Like it's a little annoying,
You know they're being
but
paid by the battery industry.
I'm not gonna say that's probably not the case, but I fucking hope not, because it's wasting my time and money
It wouldn't
swapping
surprise me.
batteries into these shits. All I'm trying to say is I'm pretty sure Xbox is creeping slowly to be retaking that top spot in the gaming sphere, having their little dip
In
with the
the
Xbox One.
in the United States, Sony still is handedly the king globally.
Yeah, I would argue that, but I want to see the glory days of the Xbox come back. I always have, and honestly, I mean, the other game companies aren't really like. Did you see what happened with Nintendo and they dropped their online package with the Nintendo 64 games, like
yeah, that
their
ridiculous
expansion?
thing. But
Well,
like, I mean,
the concept is good, but from what I'm seeing and from what I'm observing, these ports of these games that they're giving out are like the worst versions of the game they've ever released. They're
yeah,
buggy, they're jacked up, they're not done correctly. They weren't given quality control, any of this shit. So me paying an extra $25 to play a Nintendo 64 version of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time that isn't even fucking good.
yeah.
That's
Well,
a
I mean,
bummer.
if you wanted to get on that track, Nintendo is notorious for being terrible at taking care of their
Yeah.
fans. I mean, their fans are dedicated and they
Oh
dump
yeah.
the money in,
Dude,
but
I'm a
it's just
Metroid
not
fan,
good.
bro. I've been waiting for Dread to come out for like years.
Like
I
I
want more
love Legend of
Metroid.
Zelda. Here, look, I dumped. I think it was $50, but I just bought the Game and Watch, like the Zelda Game and Watch,
Yo, that's
and
Did you
I
dope.
drop
love
it?
it. No, I spent $50 on it.
Oh, you told me
Oh.
that you like sat on it or something.
No. I keep it in a little display case that comes with it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Must have been somebody else.
But this thing is awesome. Like, it's so cool. And look, it even like it has a little Triforce that lights up
I
on the
like
back
that.
when you turn it
I like
on.
that.
Like, it's great. I love it.
But
But
Is that how
they're
big the
terrible.
actual Game and Watch was back in the day?
I think it was
I
bigger.
think yeah, it was definitely bigger. But I mean, like, this
Yeah.
isn't anything fancy. Like, it's honestly not very nice
It's
plastic,
not
you know.
technologically advanced whatsoever. I'll tell
Like,
you
you
that.
can easily make
Game
a
and Watch is
Raspberry
like
Pi
base game.
for you can make a Raspberry Pi for a little bit more that you can just put your own emulation stuff on
All right,
and
Ian. Here's a
whatever.
question: If
Answer.
if it didn't have the Nintendo stamp on it, how much would you pay for something of that quality? Like if you saw it in the store and someone's like, "I want that for Christmas," how much is like too much?
That's a good question.
Especially for this with only 3 games on it, $20.
$10.
$10.
You know,
Right?
like you
Yeah,
can buy
$10,
those Chinese knockoff ones at like Walmart and when Sears was around for like $30. The ones that you plug straight into the TV and has a
I
controller
got
coming
one of
off of
those
it.
Oh, those are
plugged in right
trash.
now. I
Yeah.
got the Atari one that's got like 150 Atari games for like $10 at Bed Bath and Beyond.
I mean, I
No,
bought
I'm-
in on it. I have the NES Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic, you know, and I paid whatever crazy amount of money for it. But like with those, you can plug them into your computer and you could put your own ROMs and stuff on them because they got extra space. The PlayStation messed that one up big time.
They did fuck up. I'm still
Did
waiting
they make
though.
it so you couldn't plug it in and download your own stuff?
Well,
No, they
well,
just
it's
they
not
didn't put
supposed
Final
to.
Fantasy on the fucking thing. They have
Like you're
they have
that
not.
Must have been,
PS
that must have been some kind of exclusive deal thing they had with
Yeah.
Square
Well,
Enix.
you're not meant to be able to plug them in to upload your own ROMs and stuff onto them. It's just when Nintendo did the NES and the Super NES, like they put the legit great games. They put Star Fox 2, which never released in America.
That's cool. I did
And they
see
had all
that.
these extra things. Like you
That's
can make it look, you can make it where the screen is still like the 4x3 and it has like the fake CRT scan lines in it, so you can play it like kind of like how you used to. But like the PlayStation one, they put minimal effort into the menu. There's no extra options. There's not even like save states or anything like with any other emulator that you get for free. Like they just messed up real bad. But I had someone from work give me one, so I'm gonna upload a bunch of ROMs on it. But it had like random stuff. Like I don't even think there was a Resident Evil or a Tomb Raider on it.
Did it even have Spyro?
No,
No.
it didn't.
What?
I don't think it had Crash.
Throw it straight in the trash.
Well,
I think
they were
the
probably
most
trying to
notable
cash
game.
grab for-
Yeah, they were definitely trying to jump on that train with everybody else.
Yeah.
But I think the most notable game that they had on it was Ridge Racer.
What's
You know, it's it's a racing game.
That's the most notable game they had.
They didn't have
I
Twisted
don't-
Metal.
I
They
don't
didn't have
remember.
any
Tomb
Final
Raider?
Fantasies.
No Twisted Metal.
No Twisted Metal.
Jesus, were they
Yeah.
even trying?
No,
Pull your head out of your ass, Sony.
no,
Yeah.
no.
But I'm waiting for the GameCube.
I know,
GameCube Mini, by the way. That's what I'm waiting for.
I thought it'll be
Oh,
so
speaking
cute.
of
It'll
the
be
GameCube.
like that big. That'd be amazing.
Speaking of the GameCube,
What I want.
when we were talking about we were going on about like how old games, right, unlock stuff. The old GameCube had some good ones, so, like the Mario Kart. That one had some mad unlockables. I remember when I unlocked the title screen. Sorry, that just reminded me of something we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Well,
Like old
Yeah.
games with their unlockables. GameCube. I spent a lot of time in that. Pikmin. Ugh.
well, I pretty much made my point. So, Ian, if you want to roll on to what you had in store, I think we all got to one topic so far of each of ours. So it's almost been 2 hours running. So
No, it's only a technical
it
hour
started-
so far.
technical hour. Okay.
No, we started
yeah.
at like 6.
Well, you know,
'Cause I
from
was
like
just-
with the actual conversation stuff, we've only been recording for an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've been
Fair enough.
talking for a while, but not
Yeah.
recording for that long.
All right, so how much do you guys know about this meta thing?
Like
The
meta.
metaverse.
I know the name the name is now a thing for Facebook. I don't really know
Yeah.
about what the
Oh,
goals are
Facebook
for it.
Meta?
Yeah. So Facebook officially changed their name to Meta. Okay.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a whole thing, right? So
It's a bull-
Metaverse is essentially, you know, you could have your online places that you can hang out and everything. Like Roblox does it constantly. Fortnite. But like the biggest thing was like back in the day, like I think 03, it was Second Life.
I was gonna
Which
say.
I like.
tell me
I
you're gonna
played it
bring
a
up
little bit
Second
back
Life.
in the day.
I know
Second
about
Life,
it.
yeah.
Never touched it. Never
Pe-
touched it.
there are people there. I know there's still dedicated people, but back then, like you could
Whole
make a
office
living.
episode about it.
You can make a living off of just selling skins and like building houses for people in Second Life. It's ridiculous. Like I watched this documentary on it. It was stupid. But
So is Facebook
Yeah.
doing something like that?
so Facebook changed its name to Meta, and they dumped something like $1 billion into doing metaverse stuff. Like when I just got the Oculus, they have this new thing. I forgot what it's called, like Visions or something like that. But they're trying to make that digital, like home space and like having communities all over the place. They don't have much now. You could go and watch like UFC fights with other people or watch a concert or whatever. But they're really investing hardcore into it. But it's gonna be a big thing. Like there's a dude, like there's a couple other like random metaverses that have already existed for a few years. This one dude spent $250,000 buying digital real estate, right? And the digital real estate, he's basically buying hard drive space. So someday when like McDonald's wants to put a digital McDonald's in the game, they have to lease it off of him.
You
But
talking
his
about on the blockchain?
It does
yeah,
sound like blockchain stuff.
it's part of
Yeah,
blockchain, but like
that's what I was gonna
his
say. That's blowing
his
up right now.
investment of $250,000, like as like there was a day I think a week or two ago where all this stuff blew up, but his $250,000 investment became $1 million 4 days later. Like it's going nuts.
It's crazy. Well,
Yeah,
all the blockchain stuff, the NFT stuff, there's a lot of games that are coming out. You can buy this whole meta idea. You can buy real estate and essentially do whatever you want on that real estate. And there's companies that are buying up this real estate in these blockchain games, right? Where like it belongs to that company now, and they can do stuff and they can charge people for things within their own little space within
yeah,
this game, and it's just insane. And
yeah.
so
I
I
mean, like
figure, of course, Facebook's getting in on it.
my daughter. I mean, she's almost 5, but she's obsessed with Roblox, obsessed with it, even though she doesn't really know what to do. But we'll go into like these different
My
worlds, and
kids
every
are like
world
sixth
has their
grade and
own
still obsessed with it.
currency that wants you to spend their money there, and they're all over the place. It's
Yep.
insane, and that goes back to the microtransactions thing. But like we're moving there. Like in a decade or so, it's going to be people are putting on their VR headset or sitting at their computer, and like that's going to be the new way to hang out with people. I mean, especially
So
us,
I'm
we're spread across the country, but
yeah.
we can hop
If you
into
have
Rec Room, and play
if you
games,
haven't read Ready Player One yet, I highly recommend reading. The movie's decent
read the
for a
book.
standalone movie, but I highly recommend reading the book. The
Mm-hmm.
book
So
really talks of everything that you're just talking about, Ian,
Mm-hmm.
is exactly what's in that book. And man, God, I would die to live in
Yep.
that
Or
environment
Sword
for a
Art
week.
Online, minus the getting stuck and dying in it.
yeah,
Minus
that would be
the,
nice. That would be fucking nice, right? So
Yeah.
I like the idea,
Mm-hmm.
but what my biggest concern is, this is the because they were talking about doing the NFT thing in gaming. That was
Mm-hmm.
something recent that came out in the last couple weeks of game companies talking about their ideas, like Ubisoft. I know Square Enix came out with something saying that they're looking into making NFT games, which is it's complicated, you know? It's
Yeah.
like if I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan, they come out with a Final Fantasy game that they have a cloud skin that they've only made like 10,000 skins with blockchain, saying you have to get in on these 10,000 skins of blockchain cloud skin, and as soon as that 10,000 skins are gone, you can't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
me being, I'll fully admit I'm pretty susceptible to buying microtransactions. I am one of the people that they look at and they're like, this motherfucker's gonna buy this dumb shit. Like I do buy that dumb shit. I know it. I shouldn't. I waste my money on it. I fully admit it. But I'm that target. How much money is my dumb ass gonna spend trying to get one of these 10,000 cloud skins in this fucking game? This
Yeah.
blockchain. I now have this cloud skin. Maybe I can use it in another game. Maybe they only restricted to this one game. But now I have this skin, and I mean, it may be worth something, sure, but you gotta. They could just bump those prices up. They could just
Mm-hmm.
say, all right, they can. This is a $40 skin now. This is a $50 skin. This is a $20 pull. Like that's how much it costs to do a pull on this loot box or whatever they got going on. Like the
Mm-hmm.
idea of the blockchain and how they could use that is just, I'm just fearful about how it could be used just to make this monetization problem that we already have a million
Maliciously.
times worse. I mean, monetize, like you can tell when a game is being maliciously monetizing,
Yeah.
but the blockchain and gaming, two things made together that probably
Well,
can
here's
just
the.
sign the doom.
Let me put a thing in like a ray of light here. The way that the blockchain works is right. You have your wallet, your online identity, right? In order to
Mhm.
participate, you have to be part of one of these like secure online like identity corporations that's decentralized, right? So if you buy something in a video game that's on this blockchain, right, that gets involved in the cryptocurrency and all that, that belongs to your online identity. You can other games, right? So for example, this metaverse that Facebook's talking about, right? Think about Fortnite, but like global, right? So in like a metaverse kind of style where you can take these items that you buy from a Final Fantasy game, like this Million Arthur one that I'm reading this article about. You talked about Square Enix, so I pulled it up,
Yeah.
right? Somebody like Facebook makes a game called Meta, right, or Metaverse or whatever, where they include damn near everything that you could possibly access on your blockchain wallet, right? Your blockchain identity. As dangerous as you're talking about the microtransactions being, the counter to that is they're no longer going to be game specific. That's the beauty of this.
Well,
That will
they
transfer from game to game, from system to system, so long as those games support each other. And the more successful ones, eventually, I hate to say it, but it sounds like that's what Facebook's going for: is a global game, a game to end all games, a game that as long as you play any other game on the blockchain, you'll be able to access that stuff in their system if they get involved in the meta.
if
In
I
the
mean if they
block.
do latch onto that, that would be great. But obviously, from a business standpoint, from shareholder, from greedy top head, like I want to make money type idea, I'm just not going to use that skin in any other future game I ever have, and I'll just come out with a similar skin or a different looking skin, but it's still a cloud skin. It's a nice cloud skin, and you want this one now.
Yeah, well, I mean that's how
Yeah.
it's always been. Think of what that's how it is.
I mean,
See,
you're
like
right. You're
that
not
that's what's
wrong.
nice. Like
That's how it is. But I
right
don't know. It just
now, there's still the opportunity for a lot of this stuff to still be open source. Like look at VR chat. Like there's the opportunity there for extreme monetization, but it's all
yeah,
free. Like if you wanted a skin, you just gotta find where to download the skin. But
pretty
it's
much.
free. You know?
Hmm.
It's open source right now, but soon enough the gates are gonna close. We'll see what happens.
Well,
I'm
I
I
mean,
I
VR
have
VR
faith.
chat does have a high level of jank to it, but still, lots of
hmm
people enjoy it.
I have faith in humanity's ability to find free shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like as monetized as
Emulators,
stuff
No, that's
gets,
ROMs.
true.
there's
That's
going to
true.
be a balance. There's going to be a point where games are losing out because as the all right, I don't want to get this all link this into politics, but this is one of those situations, right? As the wealth gap expands, you're going to have more and more people with less and less money. And you can monetize all you want, but the problem is eventually
Not
you're
people
going
aren't
to
gonna
start
buy.
losing players.
Not gonna
So
buy.
they're going to have to continue to support a free to play base with
Yeah.
monetization as an option. They're going to have to continue to support the option to earn free stuff for
Hmm.
people who don't have money. Otherwise, they're going to lose out on those players. And
Hmm.
raw players is what makes a game. All of us pay to winners, right? All of us pay to plays. We can have all the fun we want, but the problem is without the free to play population, the
It's
game
no fun.
population is not there. Look what happened to World of Warplanes with World of Tanks. They didn't have a player base. I went in and I spent money on some of the badass looking premium World War II planes, but there was no free to play base because nobody was interested.
Yep.
That same kind of thing is
World
going
of
to happen. So
Warships is doing good.
I don't
Are
know
they?
how. How did
Are
warships
they?
beat out planes?
I don't know. I
They are,
saw.
but
I
it's the
saw a
whole
thing about them.
80-20 whale thing, you know.
Well, that's the thing. When you have that split, I hate to say it, but when you have the free to play and you have that kind of split, you're right. The people that pay for power, that pay for that 20% that is paying for more and more and more, they wouldn't be around if there was nobody to stomp on.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
wouldn't be around if there was somebody to beat. If there was some like they want to go into a lobby, they want to go into something, they want to beat the people that don't have what they have because
You
they
need the
couldn't
free to
afford it or
play.
they
You need the cheapo free to play players to be stomped on for
exactly.
sure.
And it's the
And the
sad part.
free, cheap, free to play players, nothing more than stomping on pay to win. Did my mic cut out just there?
It did
Yeah.
absolutely 100%.
I said the
Sorry.
free to play players love nothing more than stomping on pay to win assholes.
100%.
For
100%. Those
sure.
100%.
those
Yep.
fucking
When I see
building
somebody
assholes.
wearing a premium skin, like an Apex, oh, I love
Don't get me started.
solo wraiths
Don't get
wearing
me
premium
started.
skins.
Dude. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's what's called. So plug in for Apex right now. That's one of the reasons why I kept. I mean, other than the actual core gameplay being fantastic, I mean, there's literally no pay to win. Literally, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I play ranked, I do put on skins that blend into the environment more, just because I'm an idiot and I feel like I think that works. Because wearing a
You
neon,
talking about Apex?
yeah, wearing like a neon fucking caustic skin that's just like light blue, neon blue, and lava red is gonna stand out a lot more than wearing like a camo
See,
like
that's
skin.
the weird thing about Apex, because it does. It totally does.
100%, 100%. So
But like
whenever I play
Fortnite
ranked,
doesn't. Fortnite does a good job with the character models are
yeah,
always stand
they
out,
blend
and
out.
then you don't
Yeah,
get the skin until it gets close.
yeah. So like, when I play ranked, I put on a skin that maybe blends in more than wearing some neon skin. I honestly,
Season 1 skins, best.
yeah, the
They're
season, dude.
literal like
Right
dino
now,
camo.
I'm using the season 1 Wraith skin. The season 1 yeah, the season 1 Wraith skin, that's what I'm using right now because that's who I decided to pick this season was Wraith. But I'm using that, and I have a noticeable difference when I have my favorites rotate compared to just picking one skin and dropping in. Like I notice a difference because like I said, today I played a couple rounds and there was this caustic wearing the season 3 like lava frozen skin. That man stuck out like a sore thumb. I was like, "You are a walking reticle, son."
Now hold on.
Gotcha.
Let's plug this back to what Ian was talking about. The meta. Imagine an
That's a
Apex
good
style
point.
game
That's a good
where
point.
you can take your wraith skins and stuff and you could take it into this hangout space. You could be walking around in your wraith skins, right?
Which,
Like as
of
much as you
course,
want to like shit on the monetization, imagine how badass it would be
no,
to
you're
have
not
some of these
wrong.
cool
That
skins
would be
in some
awesome,
sort of meta VR
but
environment.
that's the thing is my biggest fear is the idea that so this kind of goes back to like Xbox in my thought process. The Xbox seems like that it cares more about the actual content and the game, the state of play, the games, and what people are enjoying than it cares so much about hyper monetization, which you get with some of these other games, which the focus is to make as much money as humanly possible and take it from the people that are playing your games.
Honestly. Yeah.
Like
Well,
the Xbox model that they have going on with the Game Pass, easily exploitable. If I was poor as shit, I pay $15 a month. I promise you, if I had enough time, I could grind out over half, maybe not half, at least a quarter of the catalog they have available. I can grind out for fucking free. Wouldn't spend nothing but $15 for that game, that Ultimate Game Pass. Like for somebody on a budget, doesn't beat it. But that mindset, that's a mindset. That's saying I want people to come in, but now I'm a customer. What I'm saying right now is that I am fully invested in their model. I believe in their messaging. I'm like, okay, I'm on board with Xbox right now.
Yeah, for
And
how did
sure.
we get
that
back to Xbox? We were talking about the metaverse.
I know we're talking about the metaverse, but I'm talking about monetization. The
Oh,
monetization and how the idea of a
Tanner,
company
you're getting
being
too wrapped up in the monetization. That's the world we live in now. You just got
it
to
is the
take
world
it
we
for
live
what
in.
it
No, I
is.
get it, but the metaverse, that's the thing. It's the slipperiest slope to
Ugh, I
abusing
hate that argument.
customers than I've ever seen. You're right. I believe that people will have good games out there. There are gonna be the Sea of Thieves out there in the metaverse. There's gonna be, the Fortnites that monetize properly, but there will also be the FIFAs. There will also be the war zones. There's gonna be the Apexes that just stab and bleed and bleed and bleed and take as much money as humanly possible by giving you not a dime. They're gonna be out there. And
And
Yeah,
yeah, but like, you know what? That's on them. Their game's either going
eh,
to succeed or it's not, and people are going to either play it or they're not. Like think
but
about like
then like I said, it goes back to the Call of Duty guys that I don't only play Call of Duty. I only play FIFA. I only play this, that, or another. It's like they don't care. They're not paying attention to it. They worked at McDonald's for like 6 hours. They have an extra $20 to spend. I'm gonna buy that skin in Warzone. I like Warzone. All I play is Warzone. That's fucking it. I'm not a gamer. I play Warzone. That's
well,
that's
I think
that's it.
let's wrap it up, and then we can
Uh,
also
continue some
John just
more on
texted
the
me
next
wondering when
one.
we're playing Pirates.
let's go fucking shoot these.
Let's do it.
Reaping, reaping. Let's go reap.
I'm down to read for sure.
I'm not gonna lie. This will be the second night. This will be the third. If we don't go to Reapers and actually sell all our shit this time, I'm gonna be real pissed. Because that would be the third night in a row that we had to sank ship by the end of the night. I ain't about that life. I ain't about that life.
All right.
Alrighty.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that's it for this week. We'll cover
Alrighty.
some more stuff for next week. I mean, we got a lot of good topics brought up, so for sure.
Night night.
Honestly, I'm gonna do some more reading up on the blockchain and the metaverse.
Hell yeah.
That kind of, because that's a whole thing worth diving into. Actually, I got some.
Your mic cut
And
out.
your mic cut out.
I know. All right. Anyways, yeah, I want to dig into that more next time for sure.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.